Well, it's based on a 24 Ford Roadster, and I was smitten when I was young. First car I ever got a ride in was a T-bucket with a Hemi, and the fella used to run it at Arlington back in the 60s. And he'd pull out of the gas station in front of our house on the King George Highway and do 8th mile burnouts. And so I decided I had to have a T-bucket before I dropped dead. And I was working at Token Fiberglass, and we had an old bent body up in the rafters, and I said to Ken, I've always wanted a T-bucket, and he said, well, that body's no good, we should cut it up with a skill saw and get rid of it. And I said, what if I can straighten it out and make a mold? And he said, you can have the first one. So that's how it all started, was kind of a coffee break joke. And then built the chassis, built the headers, designed the whole car, welded it all, fabbed it all. Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, I took a welding course about 20 years ago. I'm old, eh? I'm 61, so I've had lots of time to learn new tricks. So yeah, built the whole car, designed it, and just been loving the shite out of it. It's got almost 18,000 miles on it. It's been to Quesnel, it's been to Barkerville. It's a 5-speed stick car. Drove a Dashcroft, ran 12 flat at 116 without even trying. Gets 24 miles to the gallon on the highway.
Get out of here.
And it's 1,850 pounds on the scale at Mission, and yeah, it's as much fun as you can have with your clothes on.
You must know my...
Yeah, I've probably seen the car because I do the starting for the Friday Night Street Eagle. I've been doing that for 14 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
And I used to do all the testing tunes.
So tell me about the engine. What kind of motor is it?
It's a 350 small chamber heads, 11 1/4 to 1s, a big cam, 700 Holley double pumper, 120 gallon mechanical fuel pump on it, long tube, big tube headers. Makes about just a little over 400 horsepower.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Big pardon?
What's it in the
343 gears. It's out of a S10. So 343 gears and 30-inch tall tires. So in high gear and overdrive, it's 1900 RPM at 70 miles an hour.
That's sipping gas.
Sipping, 24 miles to the gallon going to Quesnel.
4 miles per gallon.
Yeah, no overheating problems. I got Richardson radiators to build me what he called the Coca-Cola cooler.
What? Explain that, Coca-Cola cooler.
Well, it's got the super fine gap in between the blades here. You notice there's like a horrendous amount of cooling surface, and it's 3 inches thick. And it's really deep. It goes quite a ways down under the rad shell there. And yeah, 38 degrees in the Okanagan, no problems whatsoever.
Fantastic. What a great build. How long did it take you to build this?
4 years of collecting parts on my meager budget, and then 4.5 months of intense labor to put it all together.
But when you sit in there and turn the key...
Well, the first time you drive it, you forget about all the broken fingernails and skin knuckles, and yeah, it's hair straight back, and I can't drive it enough.
I'll bet.
It's just a blast, and then...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, it's just, like I say, it's as much fun as you can have, so every chance I get, I'm driving it.
Gorgeous. Can you tell me about this one too?
Absolutely. When Gary got that body, this chassis works really well in the T-bucket, so if you look at the front end, they're identical chassis. We duplicated it because it doesn't have any bump steer and it handles really, really well.
Right.
And so we did the same program except 114-inch wheelbase for the truck, and we cut the doors in half and stretched them 6 inches to make room in the truck to be able to enjoy it. Fabbed the roof from scratch, fabbed the box from scratch, built the zoomies, built the headers, built the radius rods, built the whole thing, and a friend of ours that used to build drag boat motors designed and did the motor.
How many horse?
It's 800 horse on the dyno, it's 6,300 on pump gas. And it's 11% underdriven, so if we leaned on it, we could probably get 1,200 out of it and still take it.
Not break it?
No, it's all the best. Howard's crank, Howard's rods, AFR heads. Yeah, the heads were $4,000 without valves or without rocker arms.
Ouch.
yeah.
Ouch.
Pricey stuff.
You know what the diesel guys are doing? They're having their heads welded.
Yes. Yeah, well, they used to do that to pro stock guys. Cut two heads in half and weld them together to make bigger ports.
Weld them onto the block.
Oh, weld them onto the block to keep them from blowing off, yeah? Yeah, this one's got all the O-ring. It's a stout motor. And then
this one, of course, right?
Yeah, it went 1042 at 128 at the old time drags, and without even trying. They didn't even take any jets with them. They just took it out to the track first time it had been down the track, and yeah, it got a 1042 out of it at 128 miles an hour. Straight as a dime.
No kidding. You must be so proud when you...
Oh, thrilled.
Come on, the hair on the back of your neck must... Every time you look at these cars.
Absolutely, you can't beat it, you know, and we like to build oddballs out there kind of stuff compared to what everybody else is building, and that's why we built that the way we did.
What's the name of your company?
Pastime Auto.
Pastime Auto. How long have you been in business?
Gary's had Pastime Auto for probably 10 years, and him and I built cars really heavy for 5 years.